Renegade Immortal, Chapter 603, There is Killing Intent. Hello, welcome back to my channel, Books with AR. At the moment Wang Lin left, Zishu's body was already on the ground. It had completely withered and was left without a trace of vitality, but there was a faint golden light flashing on his forehead. Zishu's origin soul had already collapsed, so his body fell from the sky. The difference between him and Wang Lin was too big. He couldn't even use the sword energy that his master gifted him before he died. Wang Lin's heart carried a fierce madness, and the celestial spiritual energy inside his body moved like surging waves between his meridians and origin soul. Adding on to the stimulation from the fruit, he was like a war god carrying monstrous killing intent. His eyes were bloodshot as he took a step forward in the air. There were rumbling echoes across the air as if his steps were shattering the sky. He moved rapidly across the air with these large strides. He was still far away from the location of the ancient battleground. Wang Lin's eyes were bloodshot as he walked across the sky, attracting the attention of a lot of people inside the demon spirit land. Among these people were cultivators and the demon generals of the fire demon country. As long as they didn't provoke Wang Lin, he ignored them. But at the moment they had any killing intent toward Wang Lin, he would immediately be able to detect them due to his current state. Anyone who had killing intent would be killed by Wang Lin without any hesitation. There was a private planet far away from planet Xian called planet Ma. This planet belonged to someone called Ma Ancestor. His cultivation had reached illusory yin of the yin and yang stage. This time, with his current cultivation, he lost the qualification to enter the demon spirit land. However, of his 3 disciples, aside from the head disciple, the other 2 both entered. At this moment, 2 youths wearing gray robes were flying across the sky in the fire demon country. These 2 were the 2 direct disciples of the Ma Ancestor. As they flew, one of their eyes suddenly lit up. He looked into the distance and could clearly feel that there seemed to be a primal beast emitting unimaginable killing intent and that it was coming toward their direction. This person's expression suddenly changed and he yelled, "Junior brother, quickly retreat!" With that, the 2 of them quickly scattered to the sides, and right after they did so, a meteor-like figure passed by. The figure passed by them. Ascendant? His pupils shrank. "Senior brother, he seems to be injured." The person's junior brother suddenly stared at the figure filled with killing intent, gradually moving away, and suddenly sent a voice transmission. "An Ascendant cultivator must have a lot of treasure on him, if we can obtain his demon crystal." The senior brother's eyes narrowed, and he hesitated. "Senior brother, both of us are at the late stage of soul transformation. Although our chances aren't great, with the 2 of us against an injured Ascendant cultivator, and if we use magical treasures." Just as the 2 of them were communicating with each other, Wang Lin suddenly stopped. He turned around, looked behind him with his bloodshot eyes, and muttered, "There is killing intent." He suddenly turned around and charged toward those 2 like a bolt of lightning. When the 2 saw Wang Lin turn around, their expressions quickly changed and they began to retreat. However, Wang Lin's speed was too fast, so in the blink of an eye, he arrived next to the junior brother and extended his finger. The youth's expression greatly changed and was aghast at the situation. He looked at Wang Lin's gaze and was startled. This gaze was too terrifying. Wang Lin's finger made the youth feel like it was completely irresistible, as if this finger represented the heavens. This finger landed on his forehead at an unimaginable speed. The youth let out a miserable groan before his body instantaneously withered and his origin soul collapsed. The shattered origin soul and essence of his body was turned into slaughter energy. Then that strand of slaughter energy left his body and flew to Wang Lin. This all happened too fast, so fast that the senior brother wasn't able to react at all. By the time he awoke from the shock, his body shivered. Without any hesitation, he began to teleport and his body stepped into the void. Wang Lin took a step forward, streaked across the sky, and his right hand reached out. His fingers seemed to have pierced through the void and forcibly pulled the young man out. The young man's face was pale as he quickly said, "I'm Ma Ancestor's." Without waiting for him to finish speaking, Wang Lin's hand tightened. This person's body suddenly collapsed into pieces of flesh that fell to the ground. His life force turned into gray gas and flew toward Wang Lin. After killing the two of them, Wang Lin's eyes became even more red, and the battle intent became even stronger. Then his body suddenly jerked and charged into the distance. As Wang Lin flew, the earth continued to wither. Every living thing died, whether it was vegetation or animals. All of them were killed and used to nourish Wang Lin's body. He seemed to come from hell as he devoured all life. Wang Lin flew almost in a straight line across the fire demon country, and everything along this line withered. A large amount of death was left behind as Wang Lin passed through. This was a kind of humiliation and provocation for a country. Dozens of demon generals were sent out to encircle and suppress this devil cultivator. The location of his encirclement was located near the border of the Fire Demon Country and Sky Demon Country. This place was called the Million Mountains, the Mullen. Thick fog that never dissipated covered the Million Mountains. There were two cities near the Million Mountains, one on each side. One was the Fire Demon Country's Leisure Sky City, and the other was the Sky Demon Country's Melting Fire City. At this moment, more than 100,000 demon soldiers were prepared in Leisure Sky City, and more than 10 demon generals were looking into the distance. Among the demon generals, there was one person of a different rank. This person was a middle-aged man. His expression was gloomy. "This cultivator will not be difficult for us to kill. This time, the vice commander-in-chief is with us, so it will be even easier." A man next to the middle-aged man smiled. Although he was smiling, he was still showing respect. The next demon general laughed. "That's right. With the vice commander-in-chief here, we can turn that cultivator into ashes in an instant." The middle-aged man calmly said, "All of you, finish this battle quickly, and once you guys kill that cultivator, I'll be leaving." Although his expression was gloomy, there was still a hint of pride in his eyes. As a vice commander-in-chief, his status was very high, and he would normally not leave the capital for a mere cultivator. He was originally going to go to the Sky Demon Country for a personal matter, but when he arrived, he received orders from the Demon Emperor to stay here for a few days to lead the demon generals in a fight against a cultivator. He was quite helpless about this arrangement. In his opinion, there was no need to send this many people to kill a cultivator. It was too troublesome. At this moment, he pondered and said, "Are you guys sure this person will pass through here?" "By Assens, we are at ease, as we have already sent people to scout. This person is traveling in a straight line and will definitely pass through here." "Vice Commander-in-Chief, there is one thing that confuses me. Out of the 10 people we sent out, only 3 of them died instead of all of them dying. It seems like this cultivator has some strange attitude when it comes to killing people." As the demon generals were talking, the middle-aged man's expression changed. He looked into the distance and revealed a hint of impatience as he said, "A mere Ascendant cultivator who is also seriously injured dares to be this bold in my fire demon country? All of you, quickly finish this fight." The more than 10 demon generals were startled, and they all directed their cold gazes into the distance. One person wearing blue armor took a few steps forward toward the middle-aged man and said, "Lord Vice Commander-in-Chief, your subordinate, Yin Dong, is willing to go kill this person." The middle-aged man nodded. Demon General Yin Dong took a step, turned into a ray of green light, and flew toward Wang Lin. Yin Dong's eyes became cold and revealed a hint of killing intent. He had to beautifully kill this person before the vice commander-in-chief. If he could catch the attention of the vice commander-in-chief, he would be on the path to success. An injured early-stage Ascendant cultivator. My demonic force is almost 300,000, and although I have no confidence against a real Ascendant cultivator, you are seriously injured. Killing you won't be difficult. Killing intent. As Wang Lin flew, his eyes contained a monstrous amount of red, and killing and battle intent filled his mind. "Incomer, stop!" Yin Dong shouted as he flew, and he poured all of his demonic force into this sound to create a shock effect. This loud roar was like a thunderous roar as it echoed across the city. Then all 100,000 demon soldiers on the ground came to attention, and a killing aura surrounded the area. The middle-aged man revealed a hint of admiration for talent and said, "This Yin Dong is not bad. He knows to use aura to pressure people." Yin Dong felt very proud when he felt the killing aura in the air. However, he didn't know that this killing intent led to the bloody gates of hell. This thick killing intent was immediately felt by Wang Lin in his current sensitive state. This killing intent was too strong, and when Wang Lin felt this, his crazy mind caused his battle intent to increase several-fold. He didn't stop at all and stepped forth. Yindong let out a cold snort and was about to use a skill, but right at this moment, Wang Lin suddenly raised his hand. His eyes revealed a crazy amount of red light as he lifted his hand and pointed forward. In an instant, a black light created by the finger of death shot out. Yindong didn't even have time to dodge before he was surrounded by the black light. Then his body withered and eventually collapsed. At this moment, the shouts from the 100,000 demon soldiers on the ground suddenly stopped. Silence. A strange silence filled the wall. The middle-aged man's eyes suddenly opened and for the first time revealed a sign of caution. "Kill!" During this silence, Wang Lin let out a roar, then strands of slaughter energy came out of his body and turned into dragons. In an instant, the more than 30,000 strands of slaughter energy appeared and filled the air. At this moment, Wang Lin was surrounded by more than 30,000 dragons and looked like a demon god that was descending. "Every chief commander listen to orders and prepare the formation." A shout came from one of the old men among the demon generals, causing the 100,000 demon soldiers to immediately move. At the moment the 100,000 demon soldiers moved, the 30,000 strands of slaughter energy descended. A bloodbath was about to start.